One.
Welcome back, everybody. Rivals Podcast, Episode 3. Connor Drake, Will Layman, Ethan Hurst. We're back at it. We're going to start by talking about the only one of our teams that was in action this week. We got Hurst Cougars with a home win against West Virginia. Hurst, you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, a win's a win, but again, it was another unsatisfying win, in my opinion. Um, I mean, West Virginia is not a good team. West Virginia has, I think, one of the worst defenses of the Big 12, and I mean, BYU had three turnovers. Um, One was a pick. I think the defender made a nice play on it, and then the other two were just fumbles that shouldn't have happened, and they converted into points. Um, I think Bear looks good. Chase Roberts is an elite receiver. I think he's an NFL guy. Um, but yeah, I mean, a lot of careless mistakes. It was unsatisfying. Um, BYU's best defender got hurt as well. He was in a sling the whole second half, which is not a good sign. Don't know what that could be. But then I also saw he was on the depth chart for this week's game. So still waiting on some news about what that injury could possibly be. Um, can't really tell how serious it is. If he was at a sling, then he's listed on the depth chart. Um, but yeah, I mean, like I said, a win's a win. Um, there's something else I wanted to talk about. Um, I forget. Did you guys watch any of that game? Do you guys have any thoughts on it?
Yeah, I was able to lock in for a little bit of the first half of that. I mean, I thought BYU looked really good from what I saw. Yeah, I've talked about it at nauseum at this point, I feel like, but Chase Brown looks great. I mean,
Chase Roberts,
I've Oh yeah, my bad. Chase Roberts.
not your fun.
I I I feel like I'd honestly be interested to look a little more into how he stacks up, like ranking top receivers in the country, like where he would be on that list, because I feel like it would probably be a lot higher than people think.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think the Cougars look legit. Yeah.
The
Uh,
only hard thing to really it's really hard to see how good BYU as a team right now. I mean, we're 5-0, we're ranked 18, but I mean, we seriously haven't played a good team yet. So I don't know. We got Arizona. We're at Arizona this week. I think Arizona is actually a solid team this year. Probably the best team BYU will play. Um, and this stretch for BYU is looking tougher and tougher. Um, Utah the week after that. Then they're at excuse me, Iowa State. Um, bye week, and I believe Texas Tech. They're at Texas Tech, and then Cincinnati at home. And Cincinnati looks like a really good team right now as well. So we'll see how these next 6 weeks play out.
yeah, I mean, I agree. That stretch sounds brutal. I know Texas Tech is very good. That D line looks really good over there, and they look like a team that could compete more nationally than a lot of the Big 12 teams. But yeah, I am excited to watch BYU like play a good team. I didn't know West Virginia was kind of in shambles a little bit. I think I saw their quarterback. Like, did their starting quarterback enter the transfer portal? Do you know anything about that? I
I'm
thought
not
I heard a little bit
sure.
on that, but
I
yeah,
think that was their. I think I heard they said something about that was like their third or fourth quarterback that's played already this year.
yeah, that's obviously not what you want for your
No,
program.
it's not. Well, the other thing I wanted to say about BYU too was, I mean, a lot of the times with them, the final score doesn't really show how close the game was. Yes, we won by 14, but I mean, if you watch the game, at no point was it close at all.
Yeah.
And Kalani Sitake, BYU's head coach, I mean, he's known for this, and he will. And I'm not trying to make any excuses, but he just never runs up the score at all. And yeah, he just takes his foot off the gas, and I don't know. I don't know how important that is for playoff implications. I don't know how much they take that into account, but I feel like it definitely does matter at least a little bit how much you beat these teams by.
Yeah, it definitely matters to, we know the AP poll's a little bit corrupt. So if people are voting on that poll are just score watching, then that could hurt you guys a little bit, I guess. But yeah, I agree. For the first half of what I saw, it was all BYU. I saw West Virginia throw a terrible pick six too. Like it
Yeah.
was basically just quarterbacks staring down like a curl route or a hook route, and BYU just jumped the hell out of it. Should have
Yeah.
had a pick six, but yeah, that was nuts. Layman, you got anything on that game? If not, we can just move on.
Yeah, no, I mean, they got the job done in the end, but like her said, they got a tough schedule coming up. 140 pass yards and 3 turnovers isn't going to do the job against an Iowa State or a Utah. But in the end, they're still 5-0, so they got to be feeling pretty good going into Arizona this week.
Yeah, and Arizona's tough. They got Favita. They got some good playmakers down there. They're one of those schools I feel like is building their brand up a lot more. So that'll be a good game down there. Um, okay, we can move on. Will, you want to talk about Texas a little bit? That loss down there. We had some losses that kind of shook the standings a little bit with Penn State, Iowa State, and Texas this week. A lot of crazy stuff. We weren't originally going to do this segment, but felt like we had to talk about it. So, Will, go ahead.
Yeah, no, Texas has looked off all year. Arch Manning hasn't looked super confident. I think they do need to let him sling it a little bit more, but I think Texas has been exposed multiple times this year, and it showed that the SEC is really up in the air. I mean, I think Georgia is the obvious favorite right now, but Texas would have been there right with them. But after that loss, it's looking like Georgia's going to run away with it, and then it gives teams like Tennessee and Bama that's just going to help us out even more. And then the other thing was, you see the Big Ten all hyped about, oh, Ohio State beat Texas week one. It just shows the dominance of the SEC. Texas getting beat is just a normal thing.
Oh my
I see
God.
her shaking his head, but it just shows the powerhouse of the SEC. No week is a guaranteed win.
Yeah, it's true. Um, you got to battle every week in the SEC. I will say, Layman, I would take away from that game as a Tennessee fan, maybe a little bit more the Florida side. I feel like with Florida that no matter how bad it gets over there, that Billy Napier's not going to lose that locker room, and they're just going to keep playing their tails off, especially at home when they get a team like Tennessee at home. So I
Hmm.
mean, and this is like you all see all this stuff on social media about like Florida student section like doesn't rush. Like this is still the culture around Florida. The expectation is still like when you get a team like Tennessee at home is to like you win the game. Like
Yeah.
that's
No,
still
I
the
think I think
expectation.
DJ Lagway is really good. I think he started off really bad, throwing a ton of picks, but that last game he actually looked like he was in control, hitting his checkdowns, making good choices. I think Florida is definitely still a really good team. I think they started off rough, but I don't think they're out of it yet.
But yeah, I mean for Texas, going back to the Texas side as you were talking about, I mean playoffs are going to be tough for them because you think about they still got to go at Georgia.
Yeah.
And I mean, the odds of them winning that game right now look pretty grim.
Yeah, no,
And
for
then
sure.
they still got to go through the rest of the SEC gauntlet they have. So I mean, it's going to be tough for them. And yeah, Arch just doesn't really look like he's progressing much. I agree that they could give him a little more rain, but yeah, we can move on if you want. I want Hurst to talk a little bit about Iowa State here. They, if you have anything on that game, Hurst they lost 30-38 at Cincinnati. Cincinnati was thought at the beginning of the season kind of a program that was thought to be a little more in shambles, but they actually look pretty solid. Almost beat Nebraska, got a good win against ISU. ISU's obviously a little banged up, but yeah, Hurst, do you have anything on that game?
Yeah, I mean, Cincinnati just, especially the first half, just completely dominated. Um, or mostly the first half. Honestly, the second half it was a little closer, but I think Cincinnati was just running all over them. And yeah, I know Iowa State has some injuries on their defense, but I mean, what are they? They're two cornerbacks, right, that are injured. A couple of
Yeah,
the
they got their
starters.
two
Yeah, I don't know
starting
how
corners.
much effect that has on the run game, but I mean, the defensive front wasn't good for Iowa State. I think Cincinnati had like three separate guys that were 60 plus rushing yards, something like that, which is kind of crazy. Um, in the second half, it was a little more even. Um, I just think, Cincinnati dominated the first half and was able to hold on the second half kind of with the win. Um, One thing I also think is crazy is that Cincinnati had like, it honestly felt like the refs were trying to keep Iowa State in that game almost. Cincinnati had like what, 13 penalties and over at least 100 penalty yards, which is crazy, and they still won. There was a play at the end of this first half or something. I forget what it was, but it gave Iowa State another shot at the end zone, and they were able to convert. And so that makes the game even closer. And, at that point, it didn't seem like there was any, hope for Iowa State. Um, so, I mean, do we think Cincinnati's Big 12 contenders? I don't know. I mean, they looked pretty good, and I think they got a lot of juice, but I don't know. What do you guys think?
I don't know, man. I feel like that's a long shot just with how many teams. This is why I love Big 12 football is because you watch a Big 12 football game and it's like you watch almost every game you watch two teams play that like fully believe that they can win the conference. Like I was watching the end of Kansas and UCF on Saturday. Kansas had a crazy goal line stand at the end of that game. Like it's just all passion and it feels just wide open. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like I feel like Texas Tech, after Iowa State's loss, Texas Tech should probably be the favorite right now. And then you still got a lot of teams. Like, I mean, TCU, they could be right in there. BYU, I think those teams probably go above Cincinnati a little bit. Layman, you got anything to add?
Yeah, no, that pretty much covers it. I mean, I think Cincy has a good team, but yeah, I think BYU's better. I think Texas Tech's better. TCU, they're looking good. And then obviously, like you said, Arizona's been looking solid. It's a wide open conference for sure, but I don't really see how it plays out with Cincinnati winning it. Even like Utah, I think Utah's also still in the race. Like I think they're on the same level as Cincinnati, and I'd say they're a little better.
I know they actually have a pretty manageable schedule, Cincinnati.
Really.
Their remaining schedule, I think they don't play Texas Tech at all. They got BYU at home, Utah, maybe Arizona State. Not easy, but manageable. Um, I also wanted to. Did you guys see like the very last play of the game
I did not of the Iowa
where
State
he
game. I did
Ohio
not.
just
State game?
the Iowa State Cincinnati game where the
Yeah.
player just ran out of bounds?
Oh
Did you
yeah,
guys
I actually
see
did see
that?
that. Yeah, Benjamin Bremer. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I get that it's like that lateral play. I mean, but you have plays like the Miami Miracle and like stuff like that. I mean, you just never know what could happen. I don't feel like running out of bounds was what I would have done.
No, that's what I was thinking.
I think
He
that's
just
what
We
anyone would
also,
have done. I
yeah,
just,
I mean, we also can't see his angle of the field though. Like, what if there was like,
yeah,
but I mean, still, I feel like you just throw it up and give it a shot, especially if you're down eight.
yeah.
Like, if it's a tie game, you don't want to pull like what the Raiders pulled,
Yeah,
but
I
like,
remember that.
yeah, like down eight, like, yeah, you got to take a chance. You can't just step out of bounds. That's my take
it,
on it.
it looked like the Chris Jones play last night, just kind of giving up.
I
Just
just saw
that
that. Yeah.
was that was bad.
Yeah,
I'd be pissed if I was Andy Reid.
yeah, yeah. Okay, well, I'll talk a little bit about Penn State here. You guys can add anything you want, but I'll start. I mean, yeah, obviously crazy, unexpected loss, but like that's just the Big Ten. And it's not so much the element of like, oh, UCLA is a good football team because like they're not. Like it's the element of Penn State's going from playing the whiteout to playing in a stadium like that's a fourth of the way full, like 30 minutes away from their home campus. And then you also have the fact that they don't have a head coach, an offensive coordinator, or a defensive coordinator. Like this team is the definition of they're just playing with nothing to lose. Like they're just leaving it all out there. Like onside kick right after the first touchdown, like that's psychotic. But they did it and they pulled it off. The only plays from that game I saw live was late in the game when UCLA, I think you saw this too, Lame, in this sequence. They had the ball kind of in their own territory. They're up eight or up either eight or I think it was seven, maybe.
Yeah,
And
they're
they
up
had the
there.
3rd and 1 where the running back had that wide open flat route and just tripped.
Just
And then
tripped.
4th and 1, they get stuffed. Like that, I felt like that was going to be the turning point where it was like, all right, like it's a close game, but like UCLA, I mean, now Penn State is just going to like go drive down the field and score and put everyone's worries to rest. But no, they couldn't end up scoring on that drive. Um, but yeah, that was kind of nuts. But yeah, I think the biggest thing here is Penn State. I mean, the narrative is that you can't win a big game and you go to Kinnick at night and then you go to Columbus and then you host Indiana. And Indiana is legit this year. So, I mean, playoffs just feel like a I'm not saying this team's not talented enough to do it, but I will say I don't think like this team has all the talent in the world, but not dropping one of those games and getting to 10-2, I don't think that's realistic. I think you I think you hope to win two at three and maybe like UCLA gains some steam or something random and you get in at 9-3. But I just playoffs look very different for Penn State. And yeah, I mean, as for Iowa, like you figured you had two chances to get a big win. You got Penn State at home and Oregon at home. And now it feels like, well, you really just got Oregon at home now on a national scale of like who people think is like a top 10 team. Um, but yeah, it definitely feels like if Penn State loses at Kinnick, they're out. Um, so yeah, I mean, you guys have any other thoughts on that game?
Yeah, I thought Penn State. I know we talked about this, Connor. That last drive, that 4th and 2. I can't believe that they didn't trust Drew Aller to throw the ball in that situation. I just can't see any reason to justify a 4th and 2 QB keep. I don't know what your guys' thoughts are on that, but I thought that was the game sealing play because he got stuffed hard. I think he got tackled for loss even. Like I just don't know how you don't trust your quarterback in that situation.
Yeah, you're talking about the Penn State play with Aller
Yeah.
that lost them that ended up losing them. Yeah, I mean, I agree with everything you said. I don't really have anything to add to that. That was pretty spot on. Just trust your guy to make a play. And I mean, Penn State still has to find its rhythm throwing the ball, so just trust your quarterback to make a play with his legs, I'd say. But
It just seemed like they had so many chances to win that game.
oh
Like
yeah,
so many chances to get a big stop on defense, so many chances to make the big throw, and they just didn't do any of it. And honestly, with a loss like that, even if like I don't really see any way they're making the playoffs if they get another L on that record.
yeah. I
Three
mean, if they
L's with
win
one of
out,
them being at
yeah,
UCLA and one being on their whiteout night, like
yeah,
that's not good. That's a bad look to the committee.
yeah.
Hurst, you got anything?
No,
That's
it's
fair.
embarrassing.
Valid.
Yeah, but like, I mean, people who say this is a bad beat for the Big Ten, like we still got Ohio State and Oregon, like we two of the top three teams, and I mean Indiana's going to be up there. Like I'm so confident this Indiana team is for real. Um, but yeah, and I mean people were pointing out on social media like Ohio State last year, lost a close game to a ranked team and then lost to unranked Michigan and then went on to win the national championship. I think it's obviously a little different of a scenario, but you never know. Yeah, let's move on. Let's talk some fantasy football. I think one of the bigger storylines this week is Amari Hampton. He got crazy usage in that game against the Commanders. And he is going on IR. So that is going to be a tough break for people. But yeah, I feel like he had a lot of promise. I'm doing pretty well. That's my kind of fantasy bit. If you guys want to talk more about that, you can, or just give your own. We'll go from there.
Who's the guy to pick up then with the Chargers?
Probably. I'd say watching that, I was able to watch most of that Chargers game on Sunday. I was interested to see the Commanders because the Bears are playing them this week. And I'd say probably Haskins is the guy that they're going to use the most, I would
Okay.
imagine. But
I agree with
I'm not
that.
100% on that. Yeah.
He looked explosive.
Because when Hampton went out, he seemed to be getting the most touches for sure. And
They
he was
both
also
got
getting,
4.
The two backs.
Yeah, they both got 4 touches after Hampton went out.
Okay. Well,
But I
Hampton
think,
was
but
Haskins was also sorry. Haskins was also I was just gonna say Haskins was also getting touches like while Hampton was healthy, but just like as the kind of handcuff guy, like
yeah.
just giving Hampton a breather. But yeah,
On another note, I think Jamar Chase owners got to be happy with the Joe Flacco news day. I think that boosts him right back to where his ADP is supposed to be. I mean, Chase Brown or Browning wasn't doing anything, so I think Jamar will get back up into that elite wide receiver fantasy outlook. That's
I'm
one of the
definitely
things
in,
I took.
I'm definitely interested to see what happens with Flacco with
Yeah.
that. Like, I don't know. Like, you think it works out in Cincinnati with Flacco?
Well, Browning's still on 3 picks a game,
Yeah.
looking like me
He,
out there. And
yeah.
then
They
Joe
were they were
Flacco's a gunslinger. Everyone knows that. Jamar thrives on that deep ball. So,
they were kind of turning up at the end of that game from what I heard a little bit though, right? They were
I
starting to
mean,
figure it
they
out
were
a little
down
bit.
like 30 already, though. Like,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
was like the perfect
Garbage
script,
time.
just throw. They were
Yeah.
just sagging in saggy zone coverage.
You think Flacco starts right away or not?
Yeah, I think he starts this week for sure. I
What do
mean,
you
if you want any
okay.
chance of the playoffs, because I mean they're not like fully done yet. I wouldn't say. What are they, like 3-2? I think, or 2-3. Like, if you want any chance, you got to put Flacco out there.
Yeah. Hurst, what do you think?
Yeah, I just saw something that said the Bengals were pushing for him to start um, this week. I don't know. Guess he's a quick learner, is what they said. But fantasy wise, I think that's better for Chase. Um, I don't know. I feel like Flacco's always been a solid QB for fantasy wide receivers. Um, yeah, like you said, Willie just slings it all the time, and I don't know. We'll see. Was offered Chase a couple weeks back, and I'm wondering if I should have taken it. So we'll see.
Yeah,
Uh,
Connor, what are you going to be doing with Mario Hampton out? Because I just looked at your bench. That bench is not overflowing with running backs.
no, definitely not. I mean, I'm trying to get some guys off waivers. I'm 10 out of 10 waiver priority because I'm 5-0. So that's a tough break. But
Congrats.
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, the
But
waiver's
I'm
dry.
What do we think about Kamara?
yeah, I
Should
think
be
he's
traded.
definitely
He got out touched, run
Who did
wise,
get out
rushing wise.
carried? Kendra
yeah.
Miller.
I saw things about him possibly getting traded soon, though. So I mean, maybe hold on to him.
I do not want the Bears to trade for Kamara because I don't feel like it's gonna be worth it in the end.
I feel like
Like,
it's an upgrade from Swift, though. I mean, about this same like running ability, but D Swift I feel like is not that big of an option on I feel like Kamara would be a perfect fit for check down Caleb. Like,
but he might be done after this year, dude, is the thing.
yeah, then just draft a running back.
Yeah,
Use him
that's
for this
true.
year and then draft a running back.
But how much is it going to cost us for 1 year to pick? Like, I don't know how all that works, but I don't know. I just have a feeling that it's not going to be worth it with Kamara. I mean, I feel like we got like Monungai. I really like Monungai. Like he was great at Rutgers, and I feel like we got Homer coming back. It sounds like possibly. So I would kind of prefer we just almost did a committee with them and just kind of see what happens. And but yeah, I understand the logic of maybe if you want to hold. I mean, Kamara will still get you like around like 10 a game if you want to use him as like a flex or like just hang on to him in case of like a bye week or an injury or something like that. But I think it's probably come with I mean I traded Kamara and I that's what I would recommend that all Kamara owners do. I just feel like that's kind of the direction that he's trending. What would you guys agree with that?
Yeah, I'd say get rid of him while his value is still somewhat high.
Yeah, like I did like I asked around the league, like I asked so many people if they wanted to trade for him and I just ended up getting Harvey because like I'm honestly I'm
That's a
kind of banking
downgrade.
I'm kind of banking off Dobbins getting hurt. Like is that crazy? like
That's
a
crazy.
little bit.
That's foul.
I mean, I know it's crazy to bank off someone getting hurt, but like it's like Dobbins has not like when has he stayed healthy
Yeah, no,
is
that's
what I'm
low
trying to
key pretty valid.
yeah.
That's
But I mean I'm not wishing injury on anyone. I hope he stays healthy. But
that would have been a robbery if it was a dynasty league, but
oh well
yeah,
we're not playing Dynasty, so
yeah, we're not. So I don't know.
yeah. Hey, you think I was gonna ask you, Layman, when we were still on the topic of the Bengals and Flacco, do you think Chase Brown benefits from this Flacco trade at all?
No, he don't. I feel like Flacco doesn't like hitting that. He doesn't like hitting that check down, which scares me a little bit because I just traded for Chase Brown. But I mean, maybe though, maybe if they improve the offense, maybe that because Chase Brown has had like the script has not been in his favor at all running wise because they're down by 20 by halftime every week. So I mean, maybe it helps him a little bit there, like flip the script, give some more run opportunities. But yeah, we'll see. Hopefully.
Plus that O line is just not promising.
Yeah, I just
So
saw a crazy stat that he has more yards after like contact than he does has yards in total.
yeah. And
Like that's
that is
insane.
that's definitely a stat that falls on the offensive line
Yeah.
too.
I
So
mean, people have been talking about that O-line for years, I feel like with Burrow. Like that's the story every season, and
yeah.
then nothing happens.
Did you guys see DeMarcado for the Cardinals? He was a popular waiver pickup this week. He would
Yeah.
have had a long touchdown run. He dropped the ball at the 1 yard line and he ended up getting like 6 points out of it, but like could have been like, I don't know, 12 or 13.
Yeah, no,
But
that's a bad beat.
yeah, because I
Michael,
actually I had him in my other league,
really?
but
I mean,
yeah.
Michael
It was
Carter had he had a decent performance.
yeah, I was gonna say I feel like I at least did not expect Carter to be the main guy over there. Was that like consensus or
I think that's consensus, but I mean, I don't know if you saw the clip of DeMarco getting smashed by the coach.
Yeah, I
Uh,
did see that.
yeah,
No,
so I don't.
I thought that was fine though. I honestly thought that was fine. Hurst, what do you think about that?
I think it's fine. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah, I mean,
He hit
you're
him
being
in
rightfully
the
an idiot.
face,
so.
Like,
bro. Yeah.
clearly you're being stupid. Like, you low-key deserve
Yeah.
it. Like, just people are too soft. Like, it's
Yeah.
not like you
I
punched him in the face. Like,
It just looked like
no,
he kind of smacked him in the chest, kind of just like a.
yeah,
yeah.
It's not like he swung at his face, you know.
yeah, no, it's
It
not.
was
Yeah.
a little it was a I guess the reason for the overreaction is it was a little bit of like an aggressive, like he did like kind of like wind up and like almost like he was throwing a punch to his chest more than the normal kind of like but yeah, I just think that's NFL big boy football stuff and I do think there's definitely overreactions online. And
I mean,
I mean,
you gotta hold
go
them to a
ahead.
standard. You can't be doing that. Like,
Oh yeah,
they lost that
yeah.
game. Like, that completely costed them.
The amount of times I've seen that happen, like watching football, like player drops the ball at the 1 yard line is just unreal. Like how I don't understand it. I don't understand how that keeps happening.
JT did it last year, and like it like was pretty costly. I remember.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, no, it's bad. And then that Jets player, who was that? I forget who
Malachi
it was.
Corley.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No,
All right, we got like 9 minutes left. We should probably move on.
yeah.
9 minutes.
Get on the
Oh shoot. Yeah.
pick'ems.
Yeah, we just want to run pick'ems. That sounds
Yeah.
good. All right. Let's just do our college teams. We can make it pretty quick. Layman, you want to start? Arkansas
Tennessee
going
versus
to New Zealand.
Arkansas. We
Yep.
got Tennessee revenge game this year. They tried to screw us over last year. That's not happening this year. Coming off the bye week, uh, our two starting cornerback, our two cornerback one and cornerback two, hopefully both returning this week. We'll see. That's going to be huge to get them back because they haven't played in a single game yet this year. So that's gonna help our defense a ton. I think they're gonna come into Neyland and it's gonna be a blowout.
Yeah, I agree. We all got Tennessee there. Hurst, you got Tennessee.
I do.
All right, Hurst, BYU traveling to Arizona. Give me your pick.
I got BYU.
All right,
Heck yeah.
valid. What do you think, Layman?
I'm taking BYU. I think it's a closer game than we expect. Kind of a defensive game, maybe. But I think BYU pulls it out.
I agree with you guys. I just think watching BYU a couple times, they would just look too solid to lose a game like this. Iowa traveling to Madison. I'm excited. I will be making the trip up there this weekend. very excited. Um, but I think I got the Hawks in this one. Gronowski is on the depth chart. We haven't confirmed his status yet, but yeah, this was the perfect time to have a bye week for Iowa. That Indiana game was crazy physical. So many players went out of that game. Looks like we're gonna get Xavier Williams back in the backfield. That should help the running game get going. We need it. Wisconsin's strength of their team is run defense, so that's what I'll be most interested in watching, seeing if Iowa can get the run going against Wisconsin, and also seeing middle linebacker Jaden Montgomery is replacing Jaden Harrell. So we'll see. And if Reese Vandersey can come back, that'd be big for the Hawks too. But yeah, I'll take the Hawks in this one. What do you guys think?
Give me Wisconsin just because I don't like Iowa, I guess. I gotta go against you on this one. I got Wisconsin 12-8.
12-8. All right. All right,
Well,
Hurst,
I
take it.
got Iowa, honestly.
Yeah. All right. All right. Let's start with the NFL. We got Eagles taking on the Giants Thursday night football. I got Philly in this one. I think there were some bad calls in that Denver game that kind of maybe cost them the game a little bit. I know they kind of gave Denver let Denver come back too much, but I mean, I don't think there's a lot of concern for Philly right now, and I don't think New York's got the team to beat them either. So I'm taking Philly.
Go ahead,
Me
Hurst.
too.
You got Eagles?
Yes.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I got Eagles too. Jackson Dart looks sloppy. Eagles aren't going to lose two in a row. They don't lose. Yeah, I mean, bad game, bad beat versus the Broncos being up, what was it, like 18-3, 17-3 going into the fourth. But yeah, I think they bounce back. Eagles haven't looked good. I think they run all over the Eagles, or they run all over the Giants. I got the Eagles.
All right, Broncos and Jets overseas. I think I'm going to take Denver in this one. I don't think it's a good matchup with the Jets offense against Denver's defense. I'm going Denver.
I got Denver
Later.
as well.
Yeah,
I'm
I got Denver.
I don't
I just saw a stat Justin Fields is like 0 and whatever in his career when another team scores 21 plus. I think the Broncos stomp on them.
Yeah, missed JF1 in Chicago. Well, wish he was doing better. We'll move on. We got Browns at Steelers. I'm gonna take the Browns in an upset here. I think they got I think they got the team that can make this game ugly. I think they got a good defensive front over there, and I think they got rookie quarterbacks who are both pretty good, and they're gonna figure it out. Give me the Browns. Go ahead, Hurst.
um I got Steelers this game.
Go
I'm
ahead.
taking Browns upset alert as well. I think it's going to be a defensive battle. Aaron Rodgers, I love the dude, but his mobility has looked very poor this year. I think Myles Garrett and that pass rush heat him up all game, pressure him all game, and I think the Browns end up winning on like a field goal or something, 17-14.
Chargers at Dolphins in Miami. I really don't trust this Chargers team ability to win games right now with Hampton on IR and how that offensive front's looking. And I think this Dolphins offense is slightly improving every week. Give me Miami in this one.
Um I got Chargers over the Dolphins.
I'm also taking the Chargers, two bad teams, or not two bad teams. I think the Dolphins have been bad this year. Chargers have looked rough the past few games. I think it's kind of a coin flip, but I got Chargers.
Rams, Ravens. I'm going to take the Rams. Yeah, we all know this Ravens team. It's not good over there right now. They're pretty banged up. And LA's look pretty good. So give me LA.
Same here. I got Rams.
Give me the Rams, yeah. No Lamar Jackson, no defense, and Derrick Henry has been like, non-existent.
Yep. Cardinals, Colts, and Indy. This Colts team is humming. This Cardinals team is not. They have not figured it out offensively. I got the Colts.
I also have the Colts.
I got the Colts, good defense. Offense has been moving.
Seahawks going to Jacksonville could be interesting. I think Seattle's got a really good football team. Had a tough loss um, at home against Tampa Bay last week, but I think they bounce back here. I got Seattle.
I got Jacksonville on this one. I think they look pretty solid and they're clearly pretty high right now after last night, and I think they can carry that momentum over.
I'm with Hurst. I got the Jags. They looked really good. Devin Lloyd's been a dog at linebacker. Uh, I don't know. I think he could apply some pressure to the passing game for the Seahawks. I think it's two good teams, but I think Jacksonville walks away with it. Lawrence looked good last night. besides the one pick, which that was questionable. I thought it was defensive interference, but yeah, I got Jags.
Yeah, I agree with you guys that the Jags are looking good. Cohen got that running game going over there, and yeah, their defense looks great. Yeah, but I'm gonna have to stick with the Seahawks. All right, let's go Cowboys in Carolina. Um, I'm gonna take the Panthers in this one. I know Dallas's offense has been really high powered, but I got Carolina in that run game.
I got Cowboys on this one.
I got Cowboys in a shootout. I think Chubb up, he's back in Rico. I think they run all over the Cowboys, but Dak's been passing the ball unreal, and I think they just outshoot them.
Panthers play way better at home. I will add that too. That is
That is
another reason
true.
why I picked the Panthers. We got who we got next? Shoot, sorry, my phone went off for a second. Let me find the list here. Titans at Raiders. I'm gonna go Raiders here. That D line is gonna give that offensive line and Cam Ward some problems. So I got Raiders.
I got Titans. Give me the Titans 2 in a row.
I got Raiders, battle of the worst.
Okay, we got Niners at Bucks. Niners are looking better than expected. They're 4-1. They got Mac Jones at the helm, but I'm going Tampa. This team just continues to find ways to win games. Give me the Bucks.
I got Bucks as well. I think Baker looks like an MVP right now.
Yeah, I got Bucks. Baker looks good, and Buka's been a stud as advertised. I think Bucks take this one.
Bengals going to Lambeau. Yeah. Packers coming off a bye week. This is going to be a rough one for Cincy. Give me Green Bay.
Give me the Packers.
I'm a little nervous just because of the last two games, but I think this is finally where we turn the season back around and we win.
Packers are another team playing a lot better at home. All right, Sunday Night Football, Lions at Chiefs should be a good one. I got to go Detroit here. I think Detroit might be the best team in the league right now. Give me the Lions.
Give me the Chiefs at home.
Give me the Lions. Mahomes looked bad, and we got like less than a minute left, so we're not going to get through the rest of these pick'ems. But
All right, do these two really quick. Just say what team you think will win. Bears, Commanders. You know, I got Bears. Culture win. Go ahead, Hurst.
I got Bills and I got Commanders.
give me the Bills and Commanders.
I got Bills as well. All right, good episode 3. Sorry it was a little rushed. We'll see you guys next week.